Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Vikings Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skol Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
What is going on? Welcome into another edition of Skol Gang 365. Tomorrow we got a big game, us Viking fans. We play the Colts tomorrow, Sunday Night Football. Big thing for me right now is that for the Vikings to bounce back, we need to eliminate the Jonathan Taylor factor. Going into this game, you face a really good running back like Jonathan Taylor. You need to be able to minimize him. You need to be able to get pressure to Joe Flacco. You need to be able to confuse that offensive line in Indianapolis, which I look forward to seeing what kind of game plan Brian Flores uses tomorrow night. I think it's going to be another one of those purple haze moments where he's confusing Indianapolis and he catches Indianapolis on a downward. All you need to do, get the pressure, get home with the sacks on Flacco. All right. And eliminate the factor of Jonathan Taylor. And I think that the Vikings win this game. Now, the offensive side, I need to be able to see Kevin O'Connell take this team through the first half and keep the foot on the pedal in the second. So if we already got our foots on their neck, don't take the foot off. Okay? Keep being aggressive. Keep hitting home with these guys. Keep getting the ball to JJ. Get the ball to Aaron Jones. Utilize Jordan Addison this game. He had a nice catch in the last game. He was non-existent in the Lions game. That's nothing on Jordan Addison. That's just how good they were at covering Addison. So I look forward to Justin having a big game, Jordan having a big game. I think Aaron Jones, a lot of his stats are going to come with a mix of both receiving and rushing. So I think he has combined over 119 total for both rushing plus receiving yards. Hawkinson, I think he's going to be limited. He's just coming back off the injury. So I think he's gonna have some reps out there. but I still think you need to go to the guys you've been going to. Get Johnny Munt the ball, dish the ball out to Josh Oliver. Now, Cam Robinson, the rumors is he will be playing tomorrow night. So that right there is another big plus to have that tackle that we just got basically fleeced Jacksonville. So we're gonna have him in there instead of Quisenberry, which I think is an upgrade. I wouldn't trust Quisenberry to guard my fucking apartment. That's just me. I saw it that last game. Pressure coming in off his side. I don't want to hear the excuses that this dude's a fucking backup. Thinking about it this way, he practices how to do his job every day in practice. Whether you're first string, your second string, your third string, or your practice squad guy. Hell, maybe you're not even in the NFL yet. You practice this every day for your position. You got to the NFL, okay, off of your play style, whether you were going in the first, you're going in the second round, third round, fourth round, or the later rounds. You got to the NFL off your skill. Okay. Now you're going into a must-win game in Los Angeles. The starting tackle goes down for the season, tragically. Your job, Vikings got their backs to the end zone. Your job is to block your side from getting home so Darnold can extend the drive and try to get the Vikings to win this game. You absolutely fucking failed, dude. All right. Now I'm not gonna sit here blame the refs because it was obvious a face mask. But let's be realistic here, right? If they would have called it, right? So we would have got the 15 yards, right? Move us on up. Now, when we had moved up, do I fucking trust Quisenberry after, say, they did call it a flag? No, I don't trust him. Point proven. He already let a fucking guy get home. The guy fucking damn near shredded fucking Darnold's face mask off his face. So why am I going to trust this dude when the penalty goes in our favor? So I am very happy that he's not fucking playing this game. And we got Cam Robinson, which for the price that we got him for, I like it. All right. Is he fucking all pro bowler fucking Christian Darrisaw? No. But he's a perfect fill-in guy. Whereas Quisenberry, that dude, he should just be like reserve in case, God forbid, somebody on the O-line gets fucking hurt. He should just be that fucking reserve guy. At this point, I'm taking him off the fucking roster and I'm moving him down the fucking practice squad. And if he fucking comes in the office and looks at me and like, say if I'm O'Connell sitting in my desk, he sits down and is like, "What's up, coach? What's up with that? Why are you moving me down off the roster onto the practice squad?" I'm like, "Look, dude, you got to prove it to me that you want to be on this roster because I haven't been seeing it." So you got a problem with that? You got a problem with the other 52 players in this locker room? So you got to prove to me that you want to be here. You got to prove to me that you're a team guy. You got to prove to me that you want to get better at your style of game. Because I haven't been seeing it. So move that fucker down to practice squad. Let's go out and let's keep filling up the gaps before this deadline comes up. I say right now, the Vikings need, I would say, try to get somebody better than Garrett Bradbury. Garrett Bradbury, in my opinion, has been a nightmare since he's started. Okay, since he's got drafted, in my opinion, he's been a nightmare on that O-line. Now, granted, has he had a good supporting cast around him in the guard positions? No. A good center usually uplifts their guards next to them. We've had two great offensive tackles, Brian O'Neill and Christian Darrisaw. Now we just need a great center to have a great supporting cast as the left and right guard. So hopefully go out and get a center. I've been saying we need to work on this O-line, and I think this is the time to do it. So a center would be nice. Maybe like a backup guard because, Brandel, he's been showing good strength since, being our left guard. He's shown some promise. Having Dalton Risner back, I think he's going to be the right guard. I think that they bench Ingram unless they don't see a need to bench Ingram and they're like, well, he hasn't been all that bad this year. Maybe, but I think bringing in at least one or two more guys for that offensive line is going to really help this offensive line get to the potential that it has. The next position that I would really fill in would be the running back room. So outside of Aaron Jones, you got Ty Chandler and Myles Gaskin from the practice squad. Okay. If Aaron Jones, God forbid, knock on wood, hope it doesn't happen, gets hurt, you really don't have anybody to really step in and carry that workload. Don't trust fucking Ty Chandler to go out and get me a fucking big run. Okay. The guy fucking moves like a turtle. Seen it this season. And we got Myles Gaskin. Cool. Few yards here and there. And Cam Akers, Mr. Non-existent, who Quezzy thought was a great idea to fucking bring him back. I don't know why. Out of all the running backs that you could have went out and got, you chose Cam fucking Akers, all right? This dude's more injury prone than Aaron Jones. So I don't know what we're doing here. I don't. Because I would have went out, got a more better, solid running back who can take over the workload in case Aaron Jones got hurt. I at least would have went out and I would have tried making a push for the Bears backup, who the Bears have granted him to be allowed to seek a trade. So you could have went after one of the Jags running backs too. But Cam Akers, no, that doesn't sit well with me. And outside of that, if I was the Vikings, I would have got another piece on the defensive line. Well, I mean, they still can technically get a piece on the D line. Okay, Harrison Phillips needs some help. That especially in the interior, and I would have went out and I would have got a corner, somebody that is better than Byron Murphy. I have literally been like disappointed with Byron Murphy so far this season. All right. Yeah, granted, he's, got a fucking interception here and there this season. Dude gets burnt up every fucking play. Dude can't cover a fucking fly. All right. Let's just put it like this. The dude's fucking slow. I don't know if he doesn't mesh well with the schemes that Flores is implementing on this defense. I don't know if he's not a fucking scheme guy for this Vikings defense and he just doesn't fit our scheme, or if he's just having a down year. I mean, before we even picked him up, the dude was playing good football in Arizona. Granted, it was fucking Arizona, and he didn't really have anybody back there besides fucking Buda Baker. I don't know what fucking gives. Like, so in my opinion, I feel like they need to upgrade from Byron Murphy. Brian Asamoah potentially is a trade candidate, and I go out there, and if I was the Vikings, I would throw Byron Murphy as another fucking trade candidate. Get him off this fucking team. He's gonna be the fucking downfall of the secondary. Okay, you brought in a 1-year guy, Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore's been playing good ball, in my opinion. And he brought in another vet, Shaq Griffin, who's really turned my thoughts around on him. He's been playing like a beast. And yet, these guys are vets. Having both of these guys in the corner room, which before they got there, the corner room was very young and inexperienced. Obviously, losing Mekhi Blackmon was huge. I love Mekhi Blackmon. The kid's got a hell of a future ahead of him, but leaving the corner room without two veterans that really know the position and that could really elevate that room, and just leaving that room with just Byron Murphy there, that didn't sit well with me. So bringing those two guys in really has helped our secondary. But I think you get rid of Byron Murphy and you bring in a guy like DJ Reed from the Jets, I think he could do wonders on our defense, especially with Flo. I think he could really have an impact in the corner room outside of fucking Byron Murphy. Can't guard a fly. So the Colts. So Joe Flacco. I mean, it's like yesterday that he came back because the Browns right off the couch and brought them to the playoffs. Now he's trying to work magic with the Colts. Well, I don't see that fucking happening tomorrow night. I need the Vikings to play to their full potential tomorrow night. I need Flo and I need O'Connell. I need their game plans A1. All right. We gotta literally show these guys that you guys are literally going up against the best of the best. Because right now, NFC North, and this goes for all 4 teams within this division, all 4 teams in this division have got this division right now as the best division in football. So it's not like you're going out and you're fucking playing the fucking Titans, right? You're coming to the big boy leagues. A lot of these teams in our division been doing this shit since the fucking early 1900s, bro. Okay, over 100 years. Then you had the Lions came in the 30s, right? Vikings came in the 60s. So I mean, we've been going at it with the Colts since the 60s. All right. Granted, they kicked their ass in a few playoff matches for us to move on to try to be NFL champions. So in my opinion, there's a little bit of rivalry there because I mean this is in the Bud Grant days we're talking about here. All right. So there's a little, in my opinion, little tension. But outside of that, like move on to like the fucking from the 80s through the 90s to the 2000s till now, we've been kicking the fuck out of these guys. So the last time we played these guys, Kirk Cousins was still our quarterback. Dalvin Cook was our running back. Greg Joseph was our kicker. And we ended up making NFL history by having the greatest fucking comeback of all time against the Colts. So yeah, they're gonna be a little pissed off coming here, but granted, your fucking quarterback's gonna be Joe Flacco coming off the fucking couch, and he just drank a fucking Steve Weiser.
No. Joe Flacco took his Viagra so he can get his blood pressure back up.
But outside of Joe Flacco, if we can shut down Joe Flacco, our biggest concern needs to be Jonathan Taylor, stopping that run game, stopping him in the backfield from catching passes outside the backfield because a lot of people don't realize he does more than just fucking run the ball.
Jay, I asked how's the nerve, so I just gave him a thumbs down. I gave a +2 to James because that was kind of funny what he said. Did you see what he put in the chat? He said Walt Garrison and former Cowboy running back has a question: Skol, Copenhagen, or mild happy days? I gave him a +2 on it. We like scoring jokes. But only 4 teams have scored 30-plus points versus the Vikings in the last 2 years. We know that 3 of those teams were when you faced the Lions. And that's not trying to rub shit in. That's just being factual and talking about what's happened. I'm not talking about the future because we can't tell you what's going to happen in Week 18 right now.
Right.
But I know Vikings are pissed and they're going to want to come in and smack us around in our house. I know that's what they're going to want to do, right?
I can't speak for the team. I don't have intel.
Oh, come on. That attitude will be there, is what I'm saying. That's the attitude of every team.
Yeah, once the game's in front of me and it's time to play that game. Right now, my focus is the fucking Colts.
Right, yeah, your focus is on the Colts. I'm talking about at that time. I'm not talking about right now. I'm saying when the time comes and that's your enemy in front of you, that's what you're gonna wanna do is what I was getting at.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like us going to
But
Green Bay.
I'm not
Eh,
I'm not I'm not too pissed off about that Viking line game because it was a damn great game to fucking watch.
did you
It came down to the fucking wire.
did you hear what Dorn said on the other show?
Mm-mm.
Oh, how about when our defensive ends and D tackles crushed your O line like last year at Thanksgiving? I said, you realize that was 3 backups in Panay, Sewell, and Decker. That's it.
Right.
Hey, I sit there, I said, it's not like we had our starting O line against you. That's why you guys had success. This is our starting O line. That's a totally different animal. Ask the Vikings.
Jay, answering your question, I do think the Vikings have a lot of pressure on them right now. I mean, you're coming off two straight losses. I mean, granted, the Rams didn't look like a good team at the moment, but they had all their key weapons back. So with that team with their key weapons back, all together on the same page, that's a damn good team. And they can beat anybody on a given night.
And
So
that's why I like my Wednesday podcast is I look at those injury reports from all the teams from Wednesday and see if someone's practicing or not. And when I saw he was a full participant on Wednesday that week, I was like, "Uh-oh, Puka and Cup are going? They're in trouble." I said, "If it's Puka and Cup, they're in trouble. If it's
and
just Cup, if it's
it
just
fucking
Cup,
pissed me off because we didn't have a fucking answer for Puka. Puka was fucking torching us.
and
Kareem
he wasn't,
Williams was
and you
fucking
could,
shredding us.
and he wasn't even at his 100% yet. You could see he wasn't running as fast as he did last year." And I'm like going, "This motherfucker's a problem." That's all I kept saying. And I said, "He ain't even playing my team right now. This motherfucker's a problem. He ain't even 100%, and he's gaslighting people as he goes by."
Yes.
And I wasn't even trying to be mean. I sit there, I said, because on the one podcast, the Ken and Ken in the morning, everybody was like, "I think the Vikings are going to pull it out." And I told them right then, I said, "I've seen Puka was practicing all week and Cup was practicing all week. That's a different team with them two in because now they can balance it out and use one to open up the other. If the run isn't working, they can use the pass to open up the run. If the pass isn't working, they'll use the run to open up the pass." And that's exactly what they did. Every time you adjusted to what they were doing at the time, they went the other way. How many turnovers can Minnesota have and still win? That's just it. It's winning the turnover battle. It doesn't matter how many, as long as you get more than the other team.
Right.
And that was one of the things that I said. I said, even though the Rams have been bad, if you look at Stafford, he's been great. Even with the garbage receivers that was there.
Yeah.
Why? He gets that ball out fast. He doesn't allow himself to get hit like he used to. You know why? He
And
doesn't have that cannon of an arm.
he has a great running back.
Yeah. And
Fucking
and you got the
I would
dual
love
threat of Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. Blake Corum is your ground and pound guy. If you look at the 1-2 punch, the way it's set up, it's not quite there yet because Corum's a rookie and he's still learning the
right.
game speed of the NFL. But if you look at how he ran as Michigan, the potential of them having a running back duo just effective as Detroit is right there. You can see it because when it's working, it looks just like it. Kyron Williams is that shifty, speedy guy that'll get you outside and burn you if
That's
you miss
like
a tackle.
the Chargers got with Dobbins and Edwards right now.
Yeah, and everybody's waiting for that shoe to drop. The difference is the Chargers O line is actually better than the Ravens.
Yep.
And I sat there, I said, the Ravens O line was never good in the run game. It was good in the pass game. That's why Derrick Henry struggled the first couple of games to get used to it because he had to run a little different. He had to be shiftier behind the line than he used to be. He couldn't just be at full speed, go through the line and power through somebody. So once he adjusted to that, Derrick Henry has exploded because he knows he's got to get these guys blocking a certain way that fits his game. And
Yep.
they've been learning with him. And that's what I've seen with the Ravens. But at the same time, you know, I'm starting to laugh now because they're saying, "Look at what Lamar's doing with the Ravens." I said, "They got 3 losses. Motherfucker can't be the MVP if the team's losing. I said, if you want my honest opinion right now, and this is the way I'd rank it right now. And the only reason why I'm putting Mahomes second is because his offense's numbers are garbage this year.
Yep.
I
And
got
they
it.
went out, and then they
Right,
went out. They just
right.
went out and they got fucking DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep. And will it be great? We don't know. We saw him a little bit in that game, but he doesn't know the playbook yet. So he really wasn't. He was more of a
Yep.
distraction to free up everybody else for the most part, because they started doubling them right off the bat. I watched that game, and I was like, "Oh, they're stupid. If you leave those guys open, the guys that normally drop passes because they're covered, they won't drop those passes." I said, "That's stupid. You put him in single coverage when he's just starting." Um, but at the same time, Holmes has more interceptions than touchdowns right now,
Yep.
and the lowest completion percentage he's had at any time through 8 games in his career. They're winning off of defense and ref help. I don't care what anybody says. The eyeball test tells you that's what's going on. Darren, do you think Minnesota will power bomb or DDT the Colts?
I think they give sweet chin music to the mouth of the fucking Colts. They send that donkey back to the barn.
Top to bottom, Minnesota's a more talented roster. They've got the better wide receiver room. Even though they got Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss, I still think Aaron Jones, when he's at 100%, he's better than Zach Moss dreamed to be in, and almost as good as Jonathan Taylor. He's a better receiver out of the backfield than either one of them.
Right.
So you guys got a shot to really put a stamp on it. And what you have to do is what you didn't do versus the Jets and you didn't do versus the Packers. You can't get that comfortable lead and then go to that soft zone and let them
Exactly.
come back in the game.
Exactly.
Because that's what happened last year when you guys were up 33-0 and the Indy got to come back. You guys went into the soft zone. Joe Flacco eats in a zone coverage defense. And you guys run 60% zone is the problem. And I think it's because you guys boat race in the first half and then coast offensively in the second half. This is what I've seen all year. And the only team you couldn't do that with so far was Detroit. And you guys damn near pulled it out.
Yep.
I,
That's
I,
that's the thing. That's what I think O'Connell needs to work on is once we have our foot on the gas, let's not take our foot off the gas in the fucking second half. It's fucking stupid.
And it was the same way last year for Detroit, if you remember right. We were scoring great in the first and second quarter, and then we wouldn't score at all in the third quarter, and then we'd score in the fourth quarter and play catch up. That's not conducive to winning football. What they've been doing ever since week 2, that's the type of stuff you want to see from a team. Going all out for 4
Cam Robinson's only signed through the remainder of the season.
Right, because they didn't pick up their fifth year option for him with the Jags.
So he'll be a free agent after the season.
But at the same time, you guys get the chance to re-sign him before he hits free agency. So if he does good and he looks like he will be a competent and a better backup than Quirenberry, I'm sorry, that guy looks like a revolving door on the old line. Yeah, he makes Ed Ingram look good.
Yes. And I will say it a million times. I do not fucking trust Quisenberry to guard and watch over and protect my fucking apartment.
He could be trying to protect it against 5 toddlers, and I wouldn't want him standing in front of my door.
Okay, he could try to protect he could try to protect it from a swarm of wasps, and I still wouldn't fucking trust
In a
him.
beekeeper suit with insecticide. So who do you got winning this weekend in that other big game? Because J.I. just asked. He gave you a hint, but if you look at the defensive statistics, and we match up really well, just like the Vikings did. And I said this on my show. It's going to be whoever has the ball last and gets that last score in under 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if there's time left on the clock. It's going to be who scores after the 2 minutes. because yardage-wise, we're right there with each other, rushing and passing. 22 yards separates us. They're a little better passing, but
Yeah,
we've got more passing touchdowns. I mean, as a whole, because you can't just count what Goff has. We got Amon-Ra and David Montgomery with passing touchdowns too. So that's 16 passing touchdowns to their 15. And we're even as far as we are way ahead in the rushing touchdowns. Gibbs has as many touchdowns as Josh Jacobs, and David Montgomery has 7 more.
exactly.
So, and they haven't faced a running duo like this yet.
See, that's the thing though. Josh Jacobs hasn't impressed me at all since
No,
he's
and
put on a Packer
he's got 2
uniform.
fumbles lost, and both of them were in the red zone.
I'm more impressed with the Lions running game of the Montgomery Gibbs than I am with fucking
Because
Josh Jacobs and whatever nobody's behind them.
And here's the other one. Red zone defenses. The red zone defense of the Lions, field goals and touchdowns combined, teams are scoring only 47.3%. Green Bay's red zone defense, they're scoring at a combined 60% against them in the red zone. That right there should pretty much tell you which way most of the guys that
And
study stuff.
and another thing that should tell you is don't have faith, don't trust Green Bay's run defense because remember, they give up over 100 yards to fucking Joe Mixon.
Right.
These guys have been talking about all offseason that our run game is improved.
But at the same time, Josh Jacobs is a very capable back. And I'm not taking it lightly. But the
And
one thing
that's
we've
who
done
Josh
is
Jacobs, another guy who's injury prone.
right. Well, yes and no. I mean, he had one big injury. He hasn't missed much time other than that. I think he had a groin thing one time where he missed 2 games. But other than that, he's been pretty healthy.
A lot of Packer fans that I've talked to this season. So when Love's been getting fucking banged up, they're willing to donate their fucking their leg for him. They're willing to fucking donate their crotch because of his
No, thank you.
groin. And so
Yoli!
these guys are literally fucking up in arms, not being able to fucking sleep at night and pacing around their fucking house because Rogers is down. Love's hurt now. We had to do the same thing when Rogers was there. Well, dude, I don't give a fuck who it is on my team. If they get hurt, I'm not donating the fucking thing. You sign that contract, and that contract says Darren don't have to do a fucking thing for you, buddy.
Right. That's what they have team doctors and all that stuff for.
But
Donkey Kong, let's fucking go.
I will give it to him because technically in those contracts in Green Bay, fans have to do something because they're the shareholders. So I'm sorry, I don't own a slip.
So Green Bay's trying to pretend like Jair Alexander's going to play. He hasn't practiced all week.
Let's also not forget about he sat out like a bitch during the Viking game, and he's standing around on the sideline, dancing around, fucking headset on.
This is where I think Jair Alexander is out because guess who they already elevated from the practice squad?
Who?
Cornerback Kamal Hadden.
XFL guy?
Yep.
Damn.
So that is there. They also already said that Jordan Love is expected to play.
Well, I think you're gonna be able to have a field day over that XFL guy.
I think we've had a field day. I live in Green Bay. Jair is out. That's what I thought, Donkey Kong. I've been listening to everything, and I wanted to get there to spend some time with you, Mark, but I do plan on being there for the draft. Are you going too, Darren? That's
Yeah,
close
I'm
enough.
trying to get
Let's
out.
say that's close enough. I think you'd want to go, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get out. Try to get out there.
But Yoli, it's good to see you. Glad you got good news from the doctor. That's great news. Um, we don't want our green girl passing away. She's one of our top fans here at the Huddle Sports Network. Yep. She calls him Purple Boy and he calls her Green Girl. That's why I said that.
Um, if if the Vikings are able to win this game, I am predicting that the Vikings win off 2 field goals from our ace in our fucking sleeve, Will Reichert. Dude hasn't missed a fucking kick yet. He's a cold-blooded sniper. All right, don't don't discourage my word for it. Talk to Dallas Turner.
Yep.
The Bears, in other North news, the Bears are putting the North's basement on notice.
Yeah, they are starting to change the locks and buy new keys.
The start of the season, it looked like all 4 teams were on the same fucking page, and then out of the fucking blue, here come the fucking Bears. Got to fuck up the train of how many games were apart in the fucking division, and they decided they were gonna fuck it all up, fuck up the metrics here.
Yeah, all of us could have been over 80% if they won. It'd have been the first time ever any division was all at 80% or better win percentage. And Tyreek Stevenson had to be the clown of the week. We're gonna win. Yeah. Oh, they're throwing the ball. Let me go play. Yeah, that's how I felt about it. That's what I
Yeah,
did.
and a lot of Bear fans are quote unquote saying that's bullshit that Clown Boy got benched. Well, Clown Boy deserves to get fucking benched.
He deserves to be traded.
Yeah, that too. But I mean,
I mean,
I would
if
I would
somebody
have okay. So I would have put him on the fucking practice squad to
so
give him a lesson.
let's go backwards, and I'm going to give a for instance. Everybody in the Lions fan base was pissed off at that perfect bounce off of a face mask that went from Vildor to Ayuk in the NFC Championship game. That at least was a guy trying to make an interception.
True.
If you look and if you go rewatch that game, Kevin Byard is right behind, or Cam Byard, excuse me. Kevin Byard's been retired for years. Cam Byard is right behind him in possession, watching the ball, ready to catch it. And Tyreek Stevens jumps in front of him, tips it up, and it goes to their wide receiver. Number one, DB rule 101. If the ball's coming at you, bat it down. Rule number two, never, ever, 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 ever tip it up. Bad things happen when a ball goes in the air, whether you are a wide receiver or a defensive back. They teach you that all the time. You can't catch it, swat it down.
Yep.
That's why we love Amon-Ra St. Brown. If he can't catch that ball, you're not either. You seen the way he hits a corner when they're in front of him catching the ball. You're like, oh, motherfucker, it ain't yours. He will swat. He'll put his arm right between there and swat it right out. And that's the other thing that you notice when you watch the Lions play. We are good at punching out the ball.
Yep.
Vikings are too. Don't get me wrong. But when they showed the replay at the other angle for the Tim Patrick that everybody thought was a fumble, his elbow and shoulder was down when the ball finally popped out. So that wasn't a fumble. But David Montgomery's, that was a beautiful job of punching the ball out on the way down. Exactly, Patty Grimes. Tip it down. They
All
didn't
right.
learn.
Well, it is 9 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I'll be here next Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I apologize for the late start. We had some technical difficulties, but as always, Skol and fuck your team. If you're not in the North, kiss my white ass.
NFC North is the best division.